Alrighty, people. So we are going to take a look at Andy's portrait right here, and we're going to give him some tips and you some tips that you can count on every single face that you're going to sculpt for the rest of your life. Okay? If this is the type of thing that interests you, this is the type of thing that excites you, something that you're very interested in learning to level up your skills as a ZBrush artist, as a employable artist, then make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment down below. Let's get into it. Okay. So first thing that sticks out to me is how thick the head is, right? We have it very thin, but then when we go this way, it's very, very long. Okay. So what I would do is I would grab the move brush and I would move all this up, right? Move all this up. Okay. Across from the nose is the end of the skull. Okay. So we want to bring that. Right above the ears is going to be the tallest point of the head, and the ears are generally going to be in the center of the head. Be a little bit further back, some more further back, but generally you're going to put it in the center of the head. Okay. Next thing that's pointing out to me or sticking out to me is how soft the jawline is, and then how it disappears as soon as we get to the chin. Okay. So kind of like on the mask, we want to have a nice solid jawline here. Okay. So I can age this guy 10 years with just one move. All right, y'all ready? Boom. Now he's 10 years older. You see that? Youthful, late 40s. Youthful, late 40s. Later IR, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Host of Heaven, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so be very careful with your jawline, especially right here around the jaw, the jowling, right here. Okay. So next we got the head a little bit more in proportion, so we're doing better. Next thing is that your chin is pretty much an L right here. So what we need to do is we need to separate the chin first. So right here, we need to separate that chin. Okay. Right there. Okay. We also need one more plane. So we need one coming out from underneath the lip, coming out, going down, and then going diagonally down and then back. Okay. Those are the typical angles that we're going for. Okay. Next, your bottom lip and your upper lip are pretty much meeting each other. So if we do that, it's going to feel like duck lips or something like this. Okay, so if that's what you're looking for, then you can keep it. If not, you want to make sure that your bottom lip is underneath and behind your upper lip. Okay. Next is the eyes are really, really shallow. Okay, so what I want to do is we want to imagine the orbit first. You'll just have to imagine the orbit. Okay, so we want to have our infraorbital furrow. So whatever this is whatever that is. And then we're just going to bring it all together. Okay, so that's what our orbit is doing. So now what we need to do is kind of kick all this back so our orbit can be in the forefront, right? Everything's going to be housed within the orbit. Okay. So that's what we're going to do first, okay? Next, is this Dynamesh? No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dig this around the eye, okay? And I want my upper eyelid to be 3 times the height of my bottom eyelid. So you can see how far back this one is and how far forward this one is. Okay. So we want to kick that back. Okay. We want to go from one corner all the way to the other corner so we can get our bottom tarsal plate. Okay. We want to make sure that the distance from the eye to the end of the eyelid is a good amount of distance. You can see how much thicker your bottom one is compared to the top. So we are going to adjust that because your upper eyelid is thicker than your bottom eyelid. 9 times out of 10. And just making sure that we don't have any space underneath there, okay? Alrighty, so lacrimal punctum, boom. And then it comes down, 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 okay? Lacrimal punctum, it's right there, and then it goes down and around. Right there, right there. Smooth that out, infraorbital furrow, and then we're going to separate everything else, or at least put it behind that, okay? So now we got a little bit better eyes. We had a little wiggle wobble here, but it can't be helped due to the topology, okay? But if we want to bring the skin over the eye, what we're gonna do now, let's raise this. So I'm gonna mask the edge, and then I'm gonna bring this up because it's supposed to be 3 times the height of the lower tarsal blade, right? Get that, okay. Gonna make sure that the orbit's coming down and over. We're gonna separate the nasal bone from the orbit and the superciliary arches and the glabella. Glabella should be in the top 25 to 30% of the eye for males. Not all, not all, not all, but most. Okay. And we want to make sure this is sitting in the orbit, right? We don't want it coming out of the orbit. And we want to make sure that the upper tarsal plate is going over the bottom one. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So, next thing we want to do is get our nasolabial fold. Well, let's separate this nose a bit more, right? So I want everybody in the dojo to start developing a little bit more space from the maxilla, which is this bone, right? Everything that's not your nasal bone, your malar, zygomatic, temporal, all that, all basically the front of your face, right here is your maxilla. And so right here, there's a good amount of distance, right? There's like almost half a finger of distance from, right, from the edge of my nose, yeah, to the base of my skull, okay? So make sure you start doing that, all right? There's a good amount of space in here that y'all need to start adhering to, okay? Then we're gonna get the fold right here, which is gonna go around. The deeper this is, the older the person is, okay? So it just depends on how old you wanna make this individual, okay? And then we're going to get this orbicularis oris, and we're gonna even out this area around the mouth, okay? There shouldn't be any sudden increases or decreases around this area, okay? It should be all quite subtle. Okay. Alright, so the nose is looking good. It's just a bit too sharp here. We need a little bit more fleshy right around there, okay? And we need to kick that back, smooth it out. And again, we want to have this go back up into the nose, right? So at the very edge of the nostril, it's going to go back up. All right, and you're going to dig that. And then the alar cartilage, we're going to get our nostril. It's going to come up and then back down, right? Because our nostril needs to end. And from this angle, we're going to get our alar cartilage. So it's going to come down and back this way. Okay, it's going to leave your septal cartilage alone, and you're going to send this back up into the nose, and then the gold mine for all the boogers right there. Okay, and we're going to get that. We're going to smooth it out so it's not so dramatic, and get that going. Okay. So now we have a visually more interesting nose, and the problem with it is that we don't have the shelf. Smooth it out. And there we go. Much better. And also your septal cartilage is up higher than your nostril is, so it's causing another issue. Okay. We're going to make this forehead a bit more interesting by adding the forehead, right? So we want this here. We want a frontal bone. Then we want a ray of sunshine coming out from it. So I'm holding Alt and digging in around this, smoothing it out, okay? And then another thing we want to do is right around here, around the temple, we want to dig this in, okay? And that's going to give you that lift off that you're looking for, okay? A little bit more of the brow, smooth, smooth, smooth. Straight from the bottom of the orbit here is going to be the top of the zygomatic. Okay. Bottom of the nose is going to be the bottom of the malar, so it's roughly going to be right about there. So we're going to bring that down right there. We're going to make sure that this area of the zygomatic, it's going to go back into the ear hole. Right around here is going to be the widest, okay? And you can see the front of your face is pretty much straight up and down. We want to angle it back, okay? We want to bring this malar forward, smooth all that out, okay? So next thing we want to do is we want to have the 3 hits of the nose. So we need the glabella up nice and high, top third of the orbit for males, halfway for females, so females would be right about down there, okay? So then we're gonna have the nasal bone, okay? It's gonna come out, and then we're gonna have the alar going into the septal, right there, okay? And we're gonna smooth out these nostrils so they're not so hard surface, all right? And we're gonna move that together and bring this back. And bring that down and build that up, okay? So on each side of the septal cartilage, we're going to have the philtrum right here, okay? So this is also going to be the bounding box of where this first pad comes into play, okay? And then the 2 pads on the side, boom, boom. And then we're gonna round this off and we're gonna split it down the middle, okay? And next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna close this mouth by using M-plate, and we're gonna tap it together. And we can kind of get that, and we want this Cupid's bow right here to be the peak and then have it come down, okay? So we can get our Damien standard and kind of get that out, okay? So next, the angle of the jaw. I would like to see a much stronger angle here. So we're gonna have the angle of the jaw right here and just accentuate it a little bit more and bring it out. Okay. And that's going to give you that little wing action that you're looking for, that nice little square jaw. Boom, and then coming back, okay? Next, we need to add the nodes of the mouth so that our lips don't just suddenly end. They actually go into the nodes of the mouth here. We want to get our nasolabial fold, which is going to go around that node. It's going to be puffiest around the nose. Okay, so and then it's going to tame itself down. Okay. And then we're going to expose the malar right here. And let's move that out too. It's a little bit too aggressive. We just want it around here is where we want it the puffiest, right? And we're going to get that infraorbital furrow here and make sure it's locked in, okay? And we're going to get our canthal tendon right here. Alrighty. So that's kind of what I would do to take this sculpt to the next level. Okay, so let's take a look at what it is and what it was. Okay, and then make sure you put eyebrows on this thing. All right, make sure you do it. Lucas, what's going on? The Marco Keo, I don't know why beginners, we always make the same mistake. It is also difficult for me to do the eye orbits in the correct way. Oh yeah, it is. It takes a while, but you'll get it. I don't understand what you mean when you say 3 times the height. That means that the let me go back here. So the height of this tarsal plate is going to be 3 times the size of the bottom tarsal plate. All right, so we should have this tarsal plate or this eyelid be longer or taller than the upper eyelid. Okay, and generally it's a 1 to 3. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Guargon, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. Giacomo Balboni, thanks for all the tips. My pleasure. Okay. But yeah, thanks for letting me work on this. I do appreciate everyone in the dojo working together to improve each other. If you are looking to have your work critiqued on ZBrush Live, go here to the ZBho Dojo. And you can join. It's free, and I give free critiques on ZBrush Live. You just gotta submit it here within the time given. Okay. Generally, if you get it in on Monday afternoon, Monday night, you'll be first. Okay. Silent Moon, Lamar, Winston, Silent Moon again. Giacomo and Jacob, thank you very much for joining the ZBho Dojo. Please enjoy the memes. This is by far the greatest memes in all of Discord. All right, we have the greatest memes in all of Discord, guaranteed. Alrighty. But yeah, definitely join the Discord. And again, if you want to level up your skills, go to my ArtStation store and pick yourself up some of these tutorials. I would suggest getting the spicy bundle. It's $9 cheaper than if you bought them all individually. And whenever you buy it, everything I add, you get for free after you bought it. So this thing should probably be going up to about $200, $250 when all the tutorials and exclusives are added. So if you've been thinking about it, I would highly suggest you do it now, because next week it's going to go up another $10. I'm going to be adding the eye anatomy to it. So get in while you can. Okay. All right. And then last thing for your eyes, I would roll them out a little bit so they don't look like they're cross-eyed.
Alrighty.